All right, let's do this. It is Wednesday, April 1st. Let's make this fast because we have a launch coming up in an hour or so. So, second day high for the S&P. Secondary gap filled. Remember, green gap was filled yesterday. Teal gap filled today. Now, today's candle is a little bit spiky. That does suggest that orange gap will probably be tagged. And I wouldn't be surprised if we test Spatanime on Thursday, which is around 65.13. So we could be down 60, 70 points at some point tomorrow. But again, it is the lead into a 3-day weekend. And the market will be increasingly inclined as we go through the day to be subdued and just chop fest. So maybe we have a little bit of weakness early tomorrow and then bounce again late day and then positive Monday, Tuesday. Again, I would note especially today was actually the 10th consecutive day under the 200 day. So, this is sustained price action under the 200 day. This is not bullish. I mean, look at that candle there, black candle, spiky from the 200 day. And then we got whacked for 3 days again. And yeah, yesterday was strong. Today was moderately strong or broadly strong. But hey, the real issue, can we break and hold above the 200 day? 66.41. I don't think we're going to do it tomorrow. I really don't. I mean, if we do, it's like, let's just say, okay, the most bullish scenario right now would be this. We break and hold for 200 day tomorrow, and then we come up to the 50 day early next week and then get stuck. I mean, frankly, I wouldn't mind that. If the market is stupid enough to drive it up to there, because look, we also have two gaps, purple gap and teal gap. So I can understand some people. I've seen a few people talk about it who think we're going to come up to the 50 day. So again, I don't want to be short anything this side of the Easter break. I really don't. I'm being very cautious, which is proving to be a good thing. So yeah, if they want to drive it up to that, fine. I'm fine with that. Also note the lower Bollinger, correction, the upper Bollinger is going to be down around the 50 day as of next week. So yeah, a bullish day and daily momentum is going to turn positive tomorrow. So, short-term bullish. Even if first day opens weak, I would still be bullish into next week. Oh, I'm tired. It's been a long few days. My goodness. VIX. So VIX was actually down for a third day. I will say today's candle in the VIX is a hollow red reversal, which does suggest that equities will be down early Thursday. But again, ahead of a 3-day weekend, if the VIX does open up, I would kind of lean for it to cool back into the weekend. And maybe next week we'll see if equities can push up at least a bit. The VIX will be inclined to cool back to at least 22, maybe 21, maybe even 20. That would be a great place to be getting involved again. But yeah, and also momentum turned negative today, so that's bearish. So yeah, in theory, positive start to Thursday in terms of the VIX and bearish equities, but I'm probably inclined to see a reversal from there. All right, let's just jump to some individual stocks before I run out of time or energy. So, Apple high for a second day. We're gonna fly through these super fast. Nico Eagle, look, it's a gain, but you can see we're pushing against the 50 day. American Eagle up 3.7%, but again, this stock's grossly broken. First Majestic up 3, AMD free, lots of 3% today. Amazon up 1. Is that a black candle? No. American Express, yeah, the financial struggle today. They did have initial gains, but that's not great. I mean, it's subtle, but it is a reversal candle. Barrick Mining up 3, Boeing up 4, Bank of America. There's a look. I mean, look at that. That's a black candle from the intersecting 200 day and the 50 day, and just below green gap. That's bearish for Thursday. That's definitely bearish for Thursday. BlackRock. down 0.4 again. Look at this. Look at where it reversed. It reversed at this gigantic threshold. So that you see last week, right? That's where I went short KKR last Wednesday. You have black candles all over the place. And look at that. That's multi-week bear flag. Blackstone. Kind of similar as it should be, right? We're stalling around resistance. Again, Stock Charts Computer has a bearish target on this of 85, and I agree. This one's going down. But it might be able to tag 50-day next week, perhaps. Again, I'm leaving it alone. Caterpillar, up 3. Kamiko, up 2. Is that a black candle? Yes, it is. Carnival, up almost 3. Cleveland Cliffs. What is this? Oh, that's right. It's a bear flag, just like this. I haven't labeled it with a, but I would draw another bear flag there. It's not great, is it? Coinbase down 1. That's lousy. Decker's up 0.8, which is impressive considering Nike. Disney up 0.2, but that is a black candle. That's bearish for Thursday. ET, short-term bearish with the sector. Is that a black candle? Yes. Ford. It's not great though. It's like the S&P, right? It's sustainably under the 200-day. That is bearish. Freeport. Don't care. Google up with the main market. Home Depot. That's a it's not a black candle, but it's not bullish either. Intel. What the hell was that about? 8.8%? Really? I mean, look, this was $40 on Monday, and now it's 48, which is 20%. 20%, well, I guess 19% to be precise, maybe. 19% across 3 days? Seriously? This is stupid. My target remains this red gap, 28s to 24s. Is it going to happen this month? Probably not. Maybe not until May. But I still think we're going to at least come down to a 200-day before the end of April. Again, short term momentum's turned positive, so kind of net bullish into next week. So short term bullish, maybe just for another day or two. And we do actually have grit. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to drag this gap across because it looks like looks like Intel wants to tag it again, which and we are tagging it. Look, you can actually even see there's a little spike on today's candle. Anyway, I'm not shorting it this side of the weekend. Joby, black candle, not great. JP Morgan, is that a black candle? It is. It's a black candle by 1 single cent. Look at the resistance here. Green gap, 200-day, the 50-day, massive resistance. This is going to be very difficult to go above. Again, if it wasn't an Easter weekend, I would be shorting either KKR or this one. I like again, big target 250. KKR struggled across the day, down 1.2%. Again, you can see, look, it's got stuck at green gap again. Now, again, I would be short this now, but I'm not doing it in the holiday week. I'm gonna wait until next week. Again, look at the structure. It's a big old bear flag. 50 days coming down. Maybe it'll get to that next Monday, Tuesday. But that's a short in my view. That's a prime short. Yep. My target is 60 for that. But Kinder Morgan lower the sector. Meta, that's a black candle. Bearish for early Thursday. MP, black candle. Microsoft. Microsoft actually closed down a little bit. That's terrible. Micron up 8.8%. It's just a 2-day bounce. It'll be prone to stalling at the 50-day. Netflix, don't care. Nike down 15.5%. Absolute horror. I mean, earnings were mixed. They weren't terrible numbers, but they weren't great either. And the problem is there's no growth, and the market hates it when there's no growth. So that's the real problem. Nvidia up 0.8. Lot of chop. That's a black candle. Again, this one's broken as well. Sustainably under the 200-day and the 50-day. Basic target 150. Drones down a bit. Occidental lower the sector. Momentum will turn negative at the Thursday open. Bearish energy for at least a few more days. Pan American silver. That's a black candle. Palantir. Black candle. A lot of black candles out there. Don't care about PayPal. Red Cat down 7. Rocket Lab up 2%, helped by, this today's space launch. That is not a black candle, but I gotta think this is gonna come back down to $40. Whether it's April or May, I don't care. Terrible performance in SMR, down another 5%. Terrible. Target down 0.5%. Again, I can understand people holding. Their stop would be the 50-day, currently 114. Tesla up 2.5%, but again, this one is midterm bearish. Oh yeah, United Airlines up 3.3%. A lot of resistance. There's a green gap here for 200-day, the 50-day. Little trend area around 98, 99. I want to short this next week. There's no hurry right now. Target is $70. And yes, structure is a bear flag, a big one. United Health bouncing. UPS down 0.5%, not great. Exxon down 5.25%. Friday's candle, correction, Monday's candle, black, spiky, short-term exhaustion top, 2 days down. 10 MA is broken. Next support is around 160, 155, 1 to 50. Momentum will turn negative at the Thursday open. That's a pretty bearish setup right now for, look at the volume here as well. Big volume sellers. Big money is selling. All right, what else? Quick look at GLD SLV rather than that. So, tagged teal gap. Maybe we'll get to green gap and then roll over again. I got to be bearish gold, silver, and miners. Again, you see the setup is technically bullish for a couple of days, but net bearish into May. Silver up. Actually, silver settled precisely flat, uh, which is a black candle. Now, of course, Monday's black candle didn't play out, but today's black is black, and I mean, this is not good. This is still midterm bearish. This is not great. Momentum. I mean, look, momentum even turned positive today, and the stock still settled flat. And we'll take a sneaky look at nat gas. 2.5%. Again, on any basis, it is on the low end. And I can understand the really wild people meddling with the Widowmaker. I'm not going to do it, but I guess I understand some people doing it. And we will conclude with oil. Let's start with commodity oil. Commodity oil was officially down $2.13, 2.1%. I would note the lower Bollinger is now up to 80, actually, yeah, 82. So you have a lot of support around 82, 84. Of course, that's going up. Again, momentum is fractionally negative. For the week, we are currently moderately lower, but it's really a lot of consolidation than anything else. Oh, and I almost forgot all about that today. New month, new monthly candle. So look, it's just really consolidation, right? It's consolidation in my view. Momentum ticked upwards. There's zero sign of a turn there. There's no reason not to expect oil to push up to 115, 120, and eventually take out that high there from the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And the other thing is USO. On a daily chart, today's candle there's not a reversal. There's no sign of a turn there. We've officially done 2.5% in USO. We have two downside gaps. which we could easily fill up. We could easily tag orange gap tomorrow morning. In terms of daily momentum has turned back to negative, so we are leaning short-term bearish oil. Yeah, let's look at the 60-minute. What is that? You could argue that is it's a bit of a messy bear flag. It's normally a bear flag would be slightly more slanted upwards, but that's a kind of a bear flag. It's kind of like this, sort of. I mean, in my view, I think if I had to guess, I think we're gonna get gap down to here tomorrow morning. Momentum is on the low end, so we've already had a down wave, and you can see that gap even better on the 15-minute chart. So I went long this morning on probably that candle there. Actually, that one maybe. Yeah, somewhere around there, and sold somewhere around. Where did I sell? I didn't catch the top, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I sold there, bought there, sold there. So tiny gain, but it was okay, better than nothing. And then after I sold it, spiked to teal gap, cooled back, another spike to teal gap, and cooled back into the close. So gap resistance, and you think tomorrow maybe we can get down to orange gap, which would be an interesting place to buy. But again, ahead of the weekend, the Easter weekend, I don't want to do too much. So if I do buy, I'll trade light. But all else being equal, I should probably just leave it alone until next week. Yeah, that would be the wiser thing to do. Oh, one chart to go. Let's end with the S&P on a monthly chart. I want to give some perspective. So brand new month, and all the MAs have adjusted. So now the 10 MA stands at 66.94. This is important. I cannot emphasize this enough. The market should be seen as broken unless we go back above 6,700. Remember, the 200-day it's at 66.41, and in my view, if you want to turn bullish again, if show me 6,700, and I'll turn bullish. Otherwise, no. The lower Bollinger's moved up from the 5100s to around, what's that, 53.66. We'll say, of course, you could come down to the 50 MA, which is still 5100s. We could even spike below it briefly, but this market is broken. Look, you can even see maybe I'm looking for a spike down, a washout. Give me a washout. Not this week though. Maybe not next week, but sometime in April, early May. It's a similar setup to last year, but for very different reasons. And of course, and the other thing is, momentum is now sustainably negative. There's no way that momentum is going to turn positive. It's just extraordinarily unlikely. So momentum should tick down could, I mean, in theory, we could tick down all the way into October, just like 2022. That was an interesting. Well, that was more of a stair-step decline. I am kind of looking for more of a faster washout. Um, but anyway, new month, new quarter, still bearish on this 6,700 to be decisive. And on that note, I wish you enjoy the launch. Of course, we have Trump later at 9 o'clock, which will be interesting to see how the market reacts to whatever it is he has to say. And whatever happens on Thursday, before you know it, it'll be a nice 3-day break. So have a good evening and a good Thursday.